Wow. And I think most of us wouldn't have thought, we would have thought that maybe the artists who wrote the songs would call people around, but it seems if labels said, okay, he will volunteer and this person.
Yeah.
Wow. But before that though, because you did because that came out a little bit late in the 90s because you did the
Yeah.
Rhythm Nation
Yeah, I
for.
already did. Yeah, I had already did Rhythm Nation. I did
But why though? I mean, as I said, you've just had a successful debut album, number one
that's
songs,
what
and then so Janet said,
that's my whole it's like I said, it's political. It's about whatever the narrative was for that at the time.
so you just
I
said,
did
okay,
I was just overlooked. Yeah.
you did she approach you to say, can you do to be my music director? No, for
Oh, you're
Rhythm
talking about with
Nation.
Janet.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just wondering because most, I mean, for us it was like a shock that actually at the height of your career you would then
Yes.
almost give out a number of some months to be a music director, being that young as well. It was very rare to see a recording artist,
Yeah.
a young recording artist become a music director for another artist,
Yeah.
and that did shock. But why did you do it though?
I did it because, like I said, I was ready
To
to
leave.
uh to leave from the exit the whole artistry thing because I had a whiff of it, and I'm like, okay,
You didn't
I
enjoy the
already
success,
knew,
and you didn't
I
enjoy the
already knew,
success.
I already knew what it was about. It's just
Okay.
I was just ready to put my focus on being a musical director because I already went through the BS. I did the second record, but as if you notice, I never toured on the second record. I never did any live anything. By that time, I was done.
Yeah, you had your big global hit games. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's so ironic that you're saying that your songs are gonna blow up like that, and inside you're thinking, "This is it. I'm ready to leave." You people
Oh,
think, "Oh,
yeah. About about.
wow." Being that young, did did you open up for Janet then on the Rhythm Nation tour, or were you able to perform? Yes.
No, I performed. I opened up for Janet on the Rhythm Nation tour. I was the opening act for those two. So, but that was my one of my incentives. She invited me to the Rhythm Nation party in LA. So but then mind you, she invited me already premeditating, knowing that I'm going to ask him when he gets here. She already knew.
Oh, but you didn't know that was a
I didn't know.
okay.
She didn't tell me. She didn't tell me that punk. She didn't tell me. She set me up. But I got there. I see Janet. Now, mind you, me and Janet go way back, way
Oh,
before. Like I said, what her best friend at the time was Melody Andrews, who I worked with at the production company. She brought Janet down. Janet was like 14 or 15, something like that.
okay.
Yeah, she was like 14 or 15, but I met her then. And she was cool, mad cool. Janet's super cool. So I already knew her, but I just didn't know if she really knew what my talent was as far as me, doing what I do. I just met her. But apparently, Jimmy told her, like, hey, you need to get this dude now while you can because, you know, and she was like, who, Chuckii? She was like, no, Chuckii. I guess she didn't know. She's like, really? Jimmy was like, yo, get him now. She was like, I know Chuckii. Yeah. So,
You go to the
uh,
River Nation party.
yeah. And we're talking, and I told her congratulations, and congratulations on this project. It's going to be huge. I knew it. I knew it was going to be huge. And she said, "Oh yeah, by the way, so yeah, I was wondering, if you could, be the musical director, for my tour." And I'm like, I turned on like, "What? You talking to me?" Like, yeah, like, yeah, I'm talking to you. I said, okay. I said,
Wow.
all right. I said, under one condition. And she's like, what's that? And I said, well, let me be the opening act since I got a number one. I got a number one on Troop. I'm popping right now. So I said, and we can cut the cost. I said, other words, if you were to bring somebody else in, you would have to bring in their band, all their expenses. I said we could have one band, two artists. And she really jumped at that. She was like, "Oh, I could. Oh, yeah, like yeah." She was like, "Yeah, that'll work. That'll work."
Wow. Wow. So you didn't even think twice. You just
No, fearless. That's that fearless side. I didn't care.
what did the
She could
label
have easily
say?
said no.
The label did. What did they say? Did they not say, "Hey, what you've got a big album. You need a second album. How can you just go?" Or did they see it as a good
I told her.
opportunity?
I told her. I said, while I'm out on the road, I'll write for my second record.
Okay.
So by the time I get off, I can cut the record.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, there are very few tours that will go down in history as, we think of Michael's Bad, we think about, the Victory Tour,
Yep.
and even Beyonce's has a residence tour, but the
Yeah.
Rhythm Nations tour at the time became known as almost like a social justice tour. Not only was it Janet I think that actually the album and tour really had an impact on Michael chasing the sound later on.
Everybody. Everybody.
But to be on that tour, did you think and know at that time that it would have the global impact that it did have, by listening to the record and thinking about?
I knew it right away. As soon as I heard the record and just the concept behind the record, I knew right away. I knew immediately that this tour is going to be crazy. That's why I jumped on it and said, "Hey, can I just be? I'll sweep the broom, or just let me be opening act, just so I can get some kind of exposure." And she was with it. That's why I will love Janet to this day. Always, I will never cross her wrong. I will never ever dog her out. Never, ever, ever, ever. Because she gave me that opportunity. I will always have Janet's back. Always.
Wow. Hey, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you love what you watched, there's over 100 artists that we've interviewed. So please check out the videos. Remember to like, share, and unsubscribe. Or better still, become a member of Halftime Chat and get exclusive videos ahead of time. But thanks for watching. Take care.